a little video thing here.
Oh man, I'm glad this is not a close-up. 'Cause
Evening.
I don't make it today.
Oh, he'll zoom in when you start talking.
So then I refuse to speak.
Don't worry.
All right, we can go ahead and get started. I assume that y'all just want to chat during your agenda item. You don't need to do a public comment thing beforehand,
If
correct?
you have any questions,
Cool.
find out.
All right. We'll go ahead and, does anyone want to make a motion to approve the minutes from way back on May 17th?
Y'all make a motion to approve the minutes from.
I'll second.
Any questions or discussion about those minutes?
I got no mic.
You can scooch over to next, there you go.
Check, check.
All in favor of accepting those minutes from May 17th?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed to that? All right, thank you.
Yep.
All right, we'll get started with, we've got two event support applications to go through. The first one is BCW. You guys want to just talk about what BCW is? And actually, I need you to go up to that microphone, though.
It's professional wrestling. We give a lot back to the kids. I'm horrible about giving away free tickets to kids. So, but we draw 300 to 700. I know that's a big range. During COVID, we were at about 375 for both shows. Now that we've made it bigger and we're moving bigger things and more expensive people, and advertising went up and sanitation practices went up on us, that we had received 500 before. We're asking for 700 this time per show, just because we sanitized the arena the night before, the day of, and then the ring gets it too also in the locker rooms. But we probably give away more tickets than we sell, just because I don't like seeing that little kid up in the grocery store going, "Mama, Mama, we can't go." Well, she's got 10 kids, she can't afford that. That's $100, so I'll give them a handful of tickets. So, any questions? It is family friendly, no alcohol is allowed on premises.
You mentioned that bigger and better, like for those of us who, may not be familiar with, professional wrestling. What does that mean?
We started out with using a few out-of-town guys, and mainly local people from Oklahoma City and Tulsa. And we found that we have more people come from out of town if we use the guys from Las Vegas and California and Japan. So that's what we switched to, and we've worked to deal with their agents that we're not really paying that much more for them, but we're getting them motel rooms. How many people from Dallas came last time? 5, 10, something like that. From Missouri, we sold tickets all the way out to California last time. So they're coming here and they're staying here for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And then they'll all leave Sunday, and people hang out to see them. So that definitely brings revenue into the motels and the restaurants and Walmart. There's some posters right there that show most of the people that are on our card. And if I said their names, none of y'all would probably know them. But they're under his elbow. He's got one.
You read the Shrimpy Dude with the dark glasses?
Shrimpy Dude with his dark glasses. Yes, we do. We don't have anyone who's on our original poster.
He looked a lot like that.
He did look a lot like me, but he got sick, and so we just let him die.
He wasn't.
He wasn't any good. And
So you said you were wanting $700 per show,
yes,
and there's only one show this year, or is there gonna be another
it'll
one?
be October and April as always.
Okay,
We also have another one that we won't be asking for money for because we're not the primary promoter on that. It's a worldwide company, and they bring the little people that Don's been asking for 6 years. So they will be here again in April. March, I'm sorry, March 20th. They came here last year and we had a good time with them. Real fun people to be around. And evidently they like Guthrie because they want to come back.
So basically, you're, from what I can tell, you're just looking for tourism to become a sponsor of the event.
Yeah,
For all intents
We
and
already
purposes.
have a 3-foot banner.
Uh-huh.
And you're already on the poster. I think we've left y'all on there since day one. And what else is it? Oh, and the back of the T-shirts, you'll be on those. The way it was done in the past is it was done just like the Lazy E or whatever. And we spent that money on advertising and safety and stuff. And that's why it did jump up 200, the sanitizing, and we pretty much had to scrap our kitchen and everything has to be in squeeze packets now. And I don't know if you've ever had to deal with 500 ketchup packets at the end of the night, but it ain't fun.
No. Is it a consistent, I see you guys have quite a few sponsors on here.
Yes.
Are all of them paying the same amount
No.
or, no?
No.
Okay. And-
Some of those are trade out for work they've done with us on T-shirts or something, not T-shirts this time, or some of them are donating a room or
Where does the
breakfast.
$700 you're asking for from tourism
It will go
stand in the amount of one entity donating to you?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last.
Is the $700 that tourism would be potentially giving to the event, is
Yes.
that at the high end of someone sponsoring the event of the list of sponsors? Is it at the bottom end of?
I would put it about in the middle.
Okay.
Some of the bigger ones get this, we have Fight TV coming, which y'all are also part of that, so I guess it would be on the high end. And our higher sponsors, there's 2 of them, will show up on Fight TV. And of course, if Guthrie does this, they'll be there too.
And do you have any numbers on how many people on Fright TV typically watch that event?
We just bought out another company out of Ardmore, and
Uh-huh.
we were at about 130,000 when they did their last show. So
Wow.
we bought out World Class. Actually, we partnered with World Class in a deal for them to sign over to us completely in 2 years. So
Nice.
we weren't out money, but
Yeah, that's a lot of people.
mhm.
I would
We
make
did
it.
do the first live event, sanctioned live event with the crowd after COVID.
Mhm.
And we were on, she's gonna have to help me,
It's roughly TV.
Rupley TV. They sent a crew from Germany over here to film that. So
Nice.
that was pretty cool.
I would make a motion to approve the application for event support for BCW.
I haven't seconded
Great.
You had a second?
that. Yes.
Okay. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay,
That's it.
thank y'all.
Give that exposure.
Next, we've got an event support application from the Territorial Christmas Foundation. And this is for those who have been on the board for a while, this is the same application that, the same amount and same application they sent in 2 years ago. Abby was going to be here to talk to some things, and I haven't heard from her. Yeah, but I know that she's wrangling very small children, so that sometimes complicates things. So I can try to answer questions about.
I mean, without
event.
there being someone here, I mean, obviously there's the historical precedence of the event. I think, people are, Guthrie's known for it.
No, it's
I would love to hear though if there's, it seems to be that less people are attending it than in the years since I've lived here. And I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's just my perception.
I think that's a valid perception.
I don't know. and that doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with how I'm going to, but I would love to hear what their maybe goals, or if there's anything new that they plan on doing to try to entice a new generation of people to get them to attend and come. And have they talked to you about anything like that?
Like in addition to the 3 usual events, actually 4. So you get the the lighted Christmas parade, which is the Saturday after Thanksgiving, then the 2 Victorian walks, and then what used to be the historic homes tour, which has kind of been rebranded a little bit to be the there's a different phrase they use because they're not just using homes and they're not.
I put the mic up there.
You can try it. That might be too. He's got Abby on the phone.
Hi, Abby.
I don't know if that's.
Sorry, just looked at the time and my sitter is still not here. So, what can I help you guys with?
Well, I don't think there's anyone on this board that's really gonna have any opposition to it is, I think distinctly Guthrie and should continue to be supported. But I was definitely wanting to hear just kind of if there's any new ideas or new plans to engage a new generation of people to fall in love with Guthrie Territorial Christmas.
Okay, I heard part of that. I'm hearing that you guys are wanting to find out how we're planning on engaging some new people into Christmas.
Yeah,
Is that correct?
that is correct.
Okay. Oh, I don't know who I'm talking to as far as the group, but I know that our plan, our short-term and long-term, I can kind of give you the synopsis. Right now is short-term is to just get the word out to as many of the local communities as possible to let people know not only are we having Christmas, but to definitely come. We're still going to be doing the lighted Christmas parade. We're going to be doing the first and second weekend of December and having the homes tour. A lot of people have given us feedback on how much they missed all of these events and are super glad that they're back on for 2021. And our plan is to make sure that we reach out to all the communities via a billboard. I had actually reached out to the Rio Lana people who, if you're not familiar with that, that's a huge children's consignment clothing sale that they have around the country. It's a chain, and the Edmond representative who owns the chain there, I had talked to her about a sale that I was doing at the depot and picked her brain about what it was going to cost to do a short-term billboard, and was shocked to hear how affordable the billboard was and how many people it reached on a daily basis. And through that connection, I discovered that it wasn't going to be expensive. It was about $1,500 for 8 to 10 weeks of a billboard area off of the Kilpatrick Turnpike by the highway and by Quail Springs Mall, and that over 380,000 people see it per day. And when I talked to the lady from Marijuana, she says she saw her numbers just skyrocket, and it was really good way to spend advertising dollars, because you couldn't guarantee that kind of viewership would actually see your commercial if it was just on a sidebar on, Coco or any of the TV commercials. And so she said that that was going to be the best way that she could show, actual well-seen advertisement. So we are hoping that if we get grant money this year, to go ahead and put that towards, a portion of that towards advertising with a billboard on I-30, well, not I-35. You can do I-35, you can do Kilpatrick. But just one of those areas to really let everybody know that Christmas is happening. And then not only that, we also are counting on Lazy E traffic, because there's so many events that are going to be coming. That's like a really good place to put it to help encourage, not only local, but farther away people coming in from Texas, Louisiana, all those different places. So that's one of the ways that we're engaging outreach. And then long-term, our plan is to really look into lighting downtown and getting Guthrie to kind of be a focus. Perfect goal would be like the Kansas City area with the plaza. Plaza is booked out 5 years in advance to all the hotels because of the plaza lighting. And all those vendors make a year's worth of income on that one weekend. Being from Kansas City myself, I remember what it was like because I photographed 1 million engagements and did tons of stuff that weekend. And it's actually the same exact weekend that we do our lighted Christmas parade. So long term, that's what we're thinking. And then of course, really trying to engage the vendors, really pushing shop local, things like that, going through our social media and really encouraging people to go and shop in the stores downtown and sharing, different sales that people have and things like that. So,
Has
does
there?
that answer the question?
Yeah, for sure. Has there ever been any discussion, because obviously we can all walk around downtown Guthrie and admit that the number of vendors to have sales and such is a limited number of businesses. Has there ever been a discussion about having some pop-up stores, maybe working with any of the local owners of those buildings and having some pop-up businesses that aren't downtown Guthrie businesses, but inviting them to come in just to build the interest and excitement about the event?
We have discussed that, and there's been positive comments and pushback. The comments that have been made is that we want to bring in vendors, but at the same time, we also want to really encourage that the people go into our local shops. Some of the challenges that we run into is the vacancies that are downtown that I'm sure all of us have the understanding of frustration with that. And so we've discussed, as long as it's allowed, because we don't really know what the rules are as far as putting a pop-up in front of a vacant building so that we kind of hide the vacancy, make it feel more festive, which is why we put like the territorial dancers in front of those places. We put, things that we know are just not going to be sufficiently open or even legally open. We are able to put entertainers and vendors and things like in front of that. And we also want to make sure that it stays Victorian and very much a nod to what we're trying to do, which is why we've invited the horse and carriage in, and we've talked, I don't know whether or not the Logan County Historical Society is going to do pies again this year, but just trying to keep it to where if we do bring in any vendors, that we're doing something that is cognizant of pushing people still into the stores and really encouraging scratching each other's backs. So putting people in the right place and making sure that it doesn't take away or compete with some of the other vendors. Obviously, we're not going to put a coffee shop, right outside of Rick's or anything like that. We want to do something that's going to really help everybody. So we're open to any of those ideas, just keeping the idea in mind of we want to make sure that we don't offer so much that nobody goes in and shops, because that's been an issue with other people on the board in the past that have done similar things. If they do stuff that has street vendors, then the vendors in the buildings have noticed a drop down in their sales that night. So, and not only that, but when we close the streets off, we've heard that actually it really encouraged people to go into the shops because they were able to see more clearly across the street and see, oh, I want to go there, instead of having cars parked in the way to where you can't really see what's there. So if we found some different vendors that we feel like are going to be really, really good, like, baking or pies or just, maybe somebody who makes something, some ornaments or something like that, we would definitely be open to bringing them in and maybe putting them in front of those vacant businesses that take away from kind of the magic of downtown.
Cool. I make a motion to approve Guthrie Territorial Christmas.
I'll second it.
Okay, have a motion, and a second. Any questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Thanks, Abby.
Thanks, Abby.
Thank you. I'm so sorry that I wasn't able to be there. Everybody understands with kiddos, if your sitter doesn't show up, you're kind of screwed. All right, well, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
Whose phone is that?
Aaron, your phone's done. Thanks. We just get things done in these meetings, like constantly tackling obstacles. So, okay.
Are the numbers on the attendance just like a guesstimate since they don't really know?
Yes.
It's a lot lower than previous years.
So was this not,
We've had several talks about attendance estimates and different, how are we actually quantifying the numbers that get put on the applications? I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know that we've made any real positive steps forwards to coming together on figuring that out. I just know we've talked about it several times.
The main, I mean, the technology exists to help do that. But at least as of, I don't know, a year or two ago, it was still a pretty expensive deal to be able to track, how many folks are coming into downtown Guthrie on any particular weekend.
Raffle tickets.
Yeah,
You don't have
yeah.
to go to anything, you just hand them to everyone.
Then it's like, then
How
it,
many do you give away?
yeah. But I think that eventually I'd like to be able to get to that where, whether it's, the creepy version of tracking people's, cell phone
gosh,
numbers and that kind of stuff.
and the light poles?
Yeah, which is just, super creepy and whatever, but that's a technology that people use.
On TV.
So, yeah.
Did you say
I
this?
don't envy them, I will say, because I hear the rub, like you have to keep the local businesses happy because they're here and they're a part of our town. On the same hand, like you're putting on an event and the job of your event is to attract people.
Yeah.
And people are attracted to a lot of different things. And so having a stronger representation of a diverse businesses that may or may not call Guthrie home, I think would benefit them greatly.
Yeah.
I think it's better, and I mean, to the vacant buildings point, I mean, it just sort of, it brings down the mood or the look or whatever whenever you're walking around an event and there's half of them are empty buildings, so.
Yeah, when you come around the corner and the street's dark because half the block doesn't
Yeah.
have lights turned on.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a bummer.
And
It's a downer.
Abby, I couldn't hear everything, but I think she alluded to the idea of expanding the amount of buildings that have lights, framing the different buildings. And I know that they've gotten estimates on the cost of that. And the estimates they've received have been it's a large amount of money. And so I think they're still in the stage of, does the Christmas Foundation work to raise that amount of money to take care of that? Or is that something that individual building owners and the Christmas Foundation can work together to do that? Can those two entities plus the city plus there's still just, there's a lot of conversation about how to make that happen. It's a lot more money than any one organization has or could easily come up with, so.
It seems like a chamber issue.
That sounds great, yeah. So,
Did you say, I mean, just random question, but did you say this was the same application that they put in last year?
they didn't put one in last year.
Or
Yeah.
from 2 years ago, I'm sorry.
It was, yes, I believe these expenses are from the 2019
19 is,
events, I believe, yeah.
We didn't do any funding for them last year, right?
Correct, we did not.
Cool. Love it. Love the energy.
I lost track of where we were. Do we have a motion and a second for this?
Yeah,
We did? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, we all said aye.
Yeah, we moved on,
It's,
and then we came back.
it's so Monday.
Do I need to run this meeting?
Well, they were more questions he could answer, and we didn't have to keep her on the phone.
We did.
Cool.
We all knew we were gonna say yes anyways.
Any other questions or comments about Christmas?
Speaking of lights, I like the new, where Beaux-Arts photography used to be, I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I love their new thing out there with the lights and
Yeah, they're opening the little ice cream shop there.
Yes. Yeah, that new ice cream shop looks awesome.
Yep. Yum Yum Junction is the name of
That's gonna
it.
be a problem for me.
Yep, exactly.
I like how they did the street and how they,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, it's where Beaux-Arts Mortgage was. And so,
photography.
yeah, they're just moving next door.
Okay.
They're not going anywhere. So, yeah, that should be open like any day now.
That tied up.
Do you like get in trouble for getting off the agenda like we do?
Nope.
Okay, I'm just wondering.
Just,
Right.
we're just,
Okay,
We
John,
get
we're
caught
saying-
fishing in our meetings.
uh,
Item number
Well,
6,
that
I
is
guess.
tourist related, because it draws you in to go. 'Cause you
That's
see,
right.
what's that?
Hey, it's
But
a
it's not
landmark.
on the agenda. is what-
we didn't vote on it, though. We didn't vote on whether we liked ice cream or not.
Yeah, so we're
I'll
fine.
make a motion.
Oh, wait, okay, back to,
All right, item number 6.
wait, we didn't vote, did we vote? Yes, Did we?
Voted and
He
approved.
motioned, I seconded.
Yeah,
We all yayed and
all
it
right,
was
good.
great.
It was great. It was a unifying moment for all of us.
Okay, on to item number 6, which is the annual contract with Lazy E Arena. This is the same as it is every year. Nothing has changed since last time. So it's a $10,000 contract that the summary of it, I would say, gives us things like a billboard and banners and different things there in the arena, but it also gives us the opportunity to be out there on a regular basis, and whether that's handing out brochures or welcoming folks who come to the arena for events. That's what the $10,000 gets us. What's that?
They refer people into town. to
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
promote the stuff.
I don't know how to turn his ringer off. Sorry.
This meeting is a struggle.
You're good. You're good. It's okay. It's okay. So any questions about the Lazy E contract?
No, I make a motion to approve.
I'll say.
I have a question
Yes.
before we,
Yeah.
before we run on. So it says that this is $10,000 a year that comes out of the CVB budget,
Correct.
right?
Yes, sir.
So our budget typically on any given year has been approximately $25,000.
The budget for special event funding is
What we usually talk about here.
right. That's that's been a $20,000 like line item in the
Right.
CVV budget. The Lazy E contract has that $10,000 has traditionally come out of the like marketing category. So that hasn't come out of the $20,000. It comes out of the other, we have basically the special event funding category and the marketing category. And so this has always been, it's always just kind of fit into marketing more than it has special event funding.
Okay.
So this does not take away from the $20,000 that goes towards funding, supporting events like the Bluegrass Festival or Christmas
Great.
or
That was a question.
BCW wrestling or things like that.
Okay.
How much do we have in the marketing budget?
More than the special events, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
More than special events.
Yeah. And I think for like this coming year, it's somewhere like in like the $30,000 range, which it sounds like a bunch, but like literally everything other than special event funding kind of just falls into that category. It's what at some point in the past they named the two categories we have, and if it's not event support funding, it falls into I think it actually is called marketing and supplies, is the technical yeah. Yeah, it's more of a catch-all fund name than just an a traditional advertising category.
Is that where the stickers come from?
Yes. Yeah, among other things. Yeah, stickers. Yeah.
And the new, like, trifold deal, I saw one today.
Oh, the little like just a brochure map deal. Yeah, that comes out of that category too.
I'll make a motion to approve the partnership agreement with the Lazy Arena.
I'll second it.
Oh, now
Huh?
you care about the agenda.
Any questions or thoughts? All in favor? Anybody opposed?
Aye.
Okay. In terms of staff comments, I only have a few things. So upcoming events, this Sunday is the first of the G3 bike races. So the start and finish line is on Oklahoma, in between Wentz and Broad. And so the first race is this Sunday. And this first race, they'll go through downtown and they'll do like a roughly 60-mile loop out to Cashin and back, I think.
You've seen said route?
Don't get me in trouble. Don't get me in trouble. It's a secret. But I didn't tell you like super duper details to it. Anyway, and then a couple weeks, October 10th is the second race, and then October 31st is the third race. So this Sunday, I think that he has about 150, 175 riders signed up, and those are like almost all of those are not Guthrie people. There might be like 5
Yeah.
at most folks who race
Are
in
we
that.
including, they live in Logan County?
Yeah.
There may
yeah.
be 5.
Right. Speaking of the race this Sunday, I'm helping Ray with some volunteer stuff. The midpoint aid station, I do need 1 volunteer. So if anyone here would like to volunteer Sunday morning, I know Josh is a no since he's
So I'm a no.
pedaling. But I do need 1 person to just like hand like Gatorade to people Sunday morning.
Friday, I'm out.
Yeah, so no big deal if you're not available. But if for some reason somebody,
Is it this Sunday morning?
yes. And so from about 9 to noon-ish, I need 1 more person in Cashin to like sit at a table and like hand stuff.
Volunteer my 17-year-old son.
Yeah? Cool. All right, holler at me later. We'll figure that out. Let's see. Bluegrass Festival is coming up the September 30th, October 1st, October 2nd. Again, volunteer-wise, they really need volunteers. They've lost a lot of folks who were previously super dedicated volunteers, both to health reasons and other reasons. They really need some assistance. So if you're available for any of those 3 days to cover a shift of something, Stacy Frazier is desperately looking for folks to cover different shifts. So if you want to get in touch with Stacy, you don't have her number, holler at me after. I can like point you in the right direction for that. One other thing that I was going to mention, the Publishing Museum building, they have a fundraising event, a really, really cool fundraising event that's coming up here on October 7th. And I was going to let Sean talk more about that. He has a little more firsthand knowledge and experience with that building and that fundraiser. So Sean, go.
We're having a fundraiser on October 7th.
You nailed it. Well done.
Yeah, I nailed it on that one. It's a pretty big deal. We've been working on it for a long time. The COVID set us back a couple of times over the years of being able to open. Everything's open, it's closed, it's open, it's closed. Now we've got a pretty good handle on a lot. It's going to be a come and go. $100 a ticket. We've got the full support of the governor's office, the lieutenant governor's office. Our state senator Chuck Hall's he might show up. I can't speak for if they're actually going to show up, but they have. There's a lot of. We're expecting to raise about $150,000. We're hoping to, and getting everybody from all over the state to come in and help us get that building up and running. So, but it's a come and go. We'll have videos, live music, finger foods. We'll have. I believe we'll have a wine tasting table and things like that. So it's going to be a really awesome event. We have our details on our website, publishingmuseum.org, and we're trying to put the wheels on the wagon. We're getting really close to got the water running back in the building again. I mean, things are lots of hard work's gone into it, but we're really hoping to have a really good turnout and see what we can't raise.
It's a great opportunity just to visit that building if you haven't been inside there and seen all the stuff that's like just really, really cool stuff that's still in that building, and to see how much work the nonprofit, the committee has done, mostly with just a whole lot of hard work and a lot of donations. They've spent some money, but most of the stuff they've done to that building has been just like working their butts off to do things.
Yeah, we've actually got a couple of the printing machines running again, and so we're going to print our own stuff, and it's pretty. I mean, we've done a lot of work on a lot of different things. So to have the printing machines actually up and running again is really exciting. So, well, not all of them, but some of them. So that's.
When is it again?
This will be October 7th from 6:30 to 9:30. That's a Thursday. Thursday evening, and like I said, it's a come and go. There's no set schedule. We'll have rotating videos and whatnot playing, and just everybody kind of glad handing. We'll have some demonstrations out with some of our Franklin press and a couple other presses going on to print some stuff. We've got some really good volunteers that are keeping the knowledge alive. That's a dying knowledge skill set.
Oh yeah,
being able
for
to do
sure.
letterpress stuff. So that's we're excited to be able to show it off for the first time in a long time.
Cool. Any other board comments?
I got a question.
Yeah.
So last time we were here, 5 months ago, we approved an event.
Yes.
Did that event happen?
I've never been given a date for that event, and so we haven't spent that money.
Okay.
Just waiting on a date for when Mr. Good wanted to have that concert. So still waiting.
Cool.
Don, anything?
No.
Good to see you. No. All right. With no more comments, we're adjourned.